Jake Delhomme story is one of a kind. His story, or I should say, he's one of those players that had to go through a lot. It wasn't easy. Nothing was handed to him easy. He had to work for it in order to get to the NFL. Delhomme, he played at University of Louisiana at Lafayette. He wasn't drafted. He signed with the New Orleans Saints as an undrafted free agent. And this is after he didn't get drafted in the 1997 draft. He started his career in the practice squad, but then he went to play football in Europe. He did it for 2 years. However, he didn't play his first NFL game until 1999 with the Saints. He was with the Saints for a few seasons, but nothing happened there. But everything changed in 2003. 2003 is one of the best years in everything for me in terms of watching sports, my love for music at that time is hip hop and R&B, reggae as well. 2003 was just a special year for this 12-year-old kid. But 2003, Jake Delhomme, that's when I could say he arrived. This man, alongside with Steve Smith, they formed an impeccable quarterback wide receiver duo. Both of them were fearless competitor, always willing to do what it takes to win. And it made it work. And it helped out the fact that he had a coach in John Fox. Game that stood out to me, there were two games. There were a game against the Tampa Bay Bucks and against the Jacksonville Jaguars that Jake Delhomme, he put that team on his back, especially when it came down to the fourth quarter and overtime. Fourth quarter and overtime in 2003, Jake was fearless. He was absolutely fearless. This man, he led the Panthers on a Cinderella team. This was a Cinderella team. No one saw it coming. The Panthers made it to the playoffs. They defeated the Rams in the wild card game. No, excuse me. It was the divisional round game. And it took 2 overtimes. And of course, that throw to Steve Smith is what, won the game for them. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. And although they lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I will never, and I repeat, I'll never forget how Jake rallied that team. And who cannot forget that touchdown to Muzi Muhammad, which was 85 yards. It's the longest, to this day, it's the longest touchdown pass in a Super Bowl game. Jake, he led the Panthers against the playoffs in 2005. He made a Pro Bowl that year. They beat the Giants in the wild card game. They beat the Chicago Bears in the divisional round game. But then they got dismantled by the Seattle Seahawks in the championship game. In 2007, he was injured. In 2008, he returned. And for one last time, he led the Panthers to the playoffs. They finished the regular season 12-4 that year. But they were eliminated by Kurt Warner and the Arizona Cardinals in the divisional round. After his time with the Panthers, he made stops with the Houston Texans. And who was that other team? Houston, Texas. Oh yes, the Cleveland Browns. It was the Browns first, and then the Texans. But this content is about what Jake Delhomme did in those impeccable 6, 7 seasons with the Panthers. And you could say that 3 of those seasons were magical seasons for him. I feel that he will be forever remembered and beloved by Panthers Nation. Like I said, I was a fan of the duel between him and Steve Smith. They were both at their in their primes in those mid 2000s, but it was fun to watch. And this is a content for us to remember what Jake Delhomme did in a very short, brief period of time in the NFL, especially with the Carolina Panthers.